Hi, welcome back to the what's it called again?
The Business Entree podcast, you dumb dick.
I'm Hector Guerra.
And I'm Zach Zugi,
Um,
and
no,
we're
but
talking.
like we were talking off camera about college and like what are the next steps for like a student going from high school into college. And Zach is not going to college, and I'm enrolling at St. Joe's University. But like my idea was like I want to keep my options open. Like I don't want to like I don't know.
All right. Now this is going to get real serious right now. Now we actually have to lay down the facts. We have to lay down the options, the pros and cons. You have to be real true with yourself right now. You got to be real vulnerable. First, let's let everybody know what's going on. I will be transferring over to LA, moving out of my parents' home, and going on a new journey in Los Angeles. Whenever this quarantine blows over, I have money saved for that, and I have money invested just in case. And so I wanted to start this like just invite a whole bunch of friends to LA and just have an apartment. I don't care how small, how shitty. I don't care like how bad of a neighborhood, as long as it's not like Bloods and Crips gang like land, unless it's that bad, then I'm not going there. But if it's like kind of the hood, but like not gang affiliated, then I'm willing to go that far. Um, and I just want to create a group of friends who are willing to just put our heads down and just work and grind and not complain and just uh, have a high output of productivity. And so me and Hector were going to start this, but that's out in LA, and you're going to college. You want to go to St. Joe's University here in PA.
So the
So
initial pitch, the initial pitch was 3 months in the summer. And then I was sort of thinking like I'd go down to LA for 3 months, see if it popped off, and then see like question into like going to college or not.
yeah,
But I have to. I'm already enrolled at St. Joe's, so I'm
yeah.
going to St. Joe's.
There's so
It's
many
a
so many things I want to talk about right now. This is going to be like 3 hours long. All right, you ready?
yeah.
First, I understand you said you want to go to St. Joe's U because they're giving you more money. But what if you went to Los Angeles, enrolled in like a subpar, like an all right college that's not too expensive, and then you just try it out for a few months and see. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, you drop out, or you continue doing that while we run our apartment or house.
So the issue is that is St. Joe's is already a pretty low, like in terms of like it's like it goes from, or let's say like community college, then it's Arcadia University, then it's like something like LaSalle, St. Joe's, then it's like Villanova, and then it's like Harvard. St. Joe's is actually like pretty low on that spectrum, and like if you go lower, it's something like Arcadia, but Arcadia is already like it's already $50,000 a year,
Okay.
and as a transfer student, I probably and with my senior year grades, I probably wouldn't get any scholarships. So if I were to reapply for something in California, um, I'd probably lose like a lot of the money I got from St. Joe's, and then also it'd be like a lesser college.
Okay. Wouldn't be willing to like sacrifice for the location and the environment that you would be put into, sacrifice a little bit of money to get the college experience that you've been yearning for. You get that acceptance from your parents that you've wanted this whole time, because I know that's a core problem for you is the acceptance from your parents concerning like fear and opportunity. Like you say, like your dad came from Guatemala and he
Yeah,
struggled.
so let me give you like the context just so like everyone listening could understand. Like as like being son of an immigrant, like coming to this country and then sort of like working for your children, and then like you didn't go to college, you didn't go to high school, and then like you work sort of for your kids, and then when they don't go to college and when they pressure, they usually like urge you to pressure you into college, and like not going to college for me is like sort of a kick in the throat to like my dad.
Mm. That's like a tough one, but like,
I mean, you're kind of in the same boat though,
mhm. Yeah, my
but
dad really
like
didn't go to college. Like, here's the thing though, my dad, he's not gonna hate me or dislike me just because I went to college. It's gonna be 1 to 3 years of him like kind of like disappointed, maybe even less than 1 year. Like, who knows? Because you know, once, because I know if I find myself in the happiness, that if he sees that over the phone or when I'm visiting, he'll know it was worth it to not go to college. Because he sees how like sad I am now just doing school. Like, even before quarantine, he saw how sad I was going to school, and now he still sees how sad I am after online school. He sees that there's kind of something wrong with me. I used to love school, but now it's like a burden. And so I feel like if he saw a change in happiness in my face and just the way I carry myself and live life, he'd be proud of me. And I think it's the same thing.
so let's go down on that, bro.
Know your
Because
dad.
like honestly, I don't think it's advanced. I think happiness comes from within. Like it really, like it doesn't matter. Like I don't think this going to California is gonna make you happy.
It could. Who knows? That's why we got to try it.
It,
That's.
it could, it could, but like honestly, I think like I know you as a person. I think like finding the right discipline and like the right like grind schedule sort of way. Like just that sounded wrong, but like just sort of like just finding like a discipline to like just like go into like deep work multiple time a day and just find like just pure focus into like getting whatever you want done is like what you actually need to be happy. And like
That's what I want to
and
do.
and
But
then and then moving school as a distraction, right? I don't think I think I think you equate going to California as that idea, but it's actually you building yourself and improving yourself.
that's
That's
what
gonna make you
I'm
happy.
saying. It doesn't have to be Los Angeles. I want to relocate away from the life that I know, the family that I grew up with, my friends, all these
You
people.
sort you sort of want to explore.
Yeah, I want to get away from the people I'm so familiar with, not out of hate, not out of dislike, just because I want. Yeah, like I want to just explore, and I feel that if I relocate far enough, that it'll give me kind of that pressure that I need to get shit done. Pay my bills, and it also kind of gives a fire under my ass. So like, do my side shit. Create content, build my businesses. Build skills. Work on myself. Too many distractions in my hometown. There's too many distractions here. Whether I go to college or
Yeah.
not. That's
Okay,
the,
ready? But like, so I don't think it'll magically when you move to California you're gonna do that. I think the same habits. I think like I know you really well, and we're gonna what we're doing now is building those habits to basically get us started. Try to build those habits to be motivated and to like not motivated but just driven and
discipline.
like not disciplined, etc. Um, yeah,
So my thing is, so I truly think either way it's a win-win in my situation. I think I go out there and I find myself and I find what I like in life and I find true happiness and I'm productive and whatnot and I can build something for myself. Or I find out I don't want to be away from family. I find out I'm more content, maybe going to trade school here in PA and getting a job like that and building over here near family and friends and all the people I grew up with. But I won't know that until I try. And that's the whole point of this journey. It's not to we can't sit here and ponder and weigh the options. We have to sacrifice, and that's what a lot of people who have dreams do. And I have dreams.
yeah.
My,
So let me flip that. Let me flip that on you. So I want to keep my option of going to college because what if I go to California and I don't like it?
then that's something you find out, and you come to PA and you apply to a college. And
But
I don't
like,
see wrong. Wait, hold up. Before you go, I don't see anything wrong with going to a slightly worse college than St. Joe's. I I think just because it's a shittier campus doesn't mean it's a shittier college. You're gonna get typically very similar value out of I don't really
But
know what colleges, but you
but before you go on there, the let me go down the reasons I picked St. Joe's, because there are some reasons I picked St. Joe's over maybe going to LaSalle. Um, One is the money, right? But food, they have a program that's food marketing. They have a program, family entrepreneurship and family business, and they're one of the best business schools in the area, and they
Mhm.
do bring a lot of people from, like, when we for the father son banquet they had at LaSalle, they had someone from Wawa speak, and like St. Joe's does a lot of things with Wawa. Like they have a lot of like people come and teach, and like they do a lot of internships. They're exclusive to like St. Joe's, like the internships at St. like at Wawa, and like a lot of the business teachers work in the industry, work in like actual companies and like work with people, and they bring them in to teach classes. So it's like, I don't know, it's different from an actual college. Like if I went to LaSalle, would have been a 9 to 5 teacher, just like teaching sort
Yeah.
of business from a
Are you,
textbook.
are you sure you can't find any college very similar to St. Joe's across the country? And forget about the scholarship, because like there's huge potential in just moving and just doing our own thing. And that, by the way, guys, it's not just me and Hector. It's like we want to invite way more people to come, way more like-minded individuals, so that we could just grind and like be creative and just not worry about judgment, not worry about pressure, not worry about others judging us, not be insecure, and just do our thing because we're all like-minded. Who do you have to worry about judging you if we're all like-minded? You don't have to worry about like your siblings making fun of you, friends making fun of you, people giving you peer pressure to not work and do stupid shit and party and
But
like
but
unproductive.
but that's the idea. Like once you have like-minded individuals, they like sort of build you up, and then to the point where like you cannot like, where the point where like you don't really care what other thinks of you.
That's
Like, you know.
that's the whole point. And so I think school already in high school should be a comfortable place in my opinion. I would say. Um, Yet I go to school I mean before the quarantine I go to school and I don't feel comfortable talking about entrepreneurship. Not that I don't feel comfortable, but I know that if I start talking about it, nobody else has interest, or people are going to try and push me down. So there's no point in starting that argument or like talking about it in the first place. There's
Are you talking about entrepreneurship or going to college?
I'm talking about when I'm in school, I don't bring up the topic of entrepreneurship or the hustle or things like that because people around me in school aren't like me, and I could tell, and you could tell, and me and you are different. But the thing is, what separates me and you is that you and I, or this could change, but what I see as a difference right now is that you flip the script first. Is that you think that you might not like LA, but you'll like college, or maybe that's just a bullshit excuse for you to just cover your ass because realistically you don't want to throw away this opportunity that your dad's giving to you. Which by the way, you work for that fucking scholarship. Let's not forget about that. You work for that scholarship. Whether you went to LaSalle and he had to pay that expensive tuition, or you went to a public school, you worked and you wanted that scholarship and you got it. And now we're at a fork in the road where, I mean, it's kind of unrealistic for you to go
Well,
there.
no, I have the sunken. I see what you're saying. I have the like the sunken fallacy. Like I already invested my time into like getting the scholarship, because like
Yeah.
if I like reject the scholarship and go to a college that pay full tuition, or go to a shittier college and pay full tuition, then all the work I put in this past 4 years are just like, they're gone.
It's not necessarily though, because
But it is though, because like what is from day one freshman year, like what are you pushed to do going out of, like my whole entire mindset for the first 3 years, like I wasn't going to college. No, the first 2 years, and then junior year I said I wasn't going to college. First 2 years I was just grinding out, like just grinding the workout, and like getting A's in all my classes, and like actually trying in school. And then junior year, like I sort of had like a little thing like where I was like, I started questioning the system. Like, should I go to college?
Mm-hmm.
And that continued into the first. And I mean, it probably still continues today. Like, should I continue? Because, like, I don't know.
Yeah. The thing is like, man, there's so many variables playing in this. There's a
So,
variable of the there's a variable.
so the one thing Mrs. Deal told me that our my guidance counselor told me that the one thing that did stick with me and like I find valuable, even if like even even if like all this entrepreneurship thing does, or like just like not going to college and stuff, but like the one thing that she said is like once you start limiting your paths, you start like sort of to stress out, right?
Okay.
So like once you say like I can only go to this college, right? She said in a college term, but like I sort of connected it to life. Sort of
Yeah.
like if like I can only eat this today, no matter what, I'm gonna go to the ends of the earth to get this one thing. But then there's perfectly good things here and perfectly good things here. Are you gonna
Sometimes it's good to search for that, to search to the end for that thing. And in this
I,
case, we're kind of exaggerating it in like metaphorical terms, which is kind of whack. But
yeah.
the variables, like I was saying before, there's so many more variables than just limiting your path. There's the pressure, there's the peer pressure, there's the family pressure, there's the mindset where you think you owe your father back by getting that degree. There's the impression from society that we need this piece of paper, whether your dad likes it or not, or whether your dad is pressuring you or not. There's this insecurity that maybe you don't want your friends to judge you for not going to college. There's this doubt that maybe our entrepreneurship journey will fail in LA. The thing is, if we fail, we just come right back and we live life. You can always apply for another college. It's not like it's just you could always do.
It's not.
The thing is, if it was really for the college degree, you would just go to community college and get that shit out of the way. You'd do the first 2 years in community college, do the second 2 years in LSU, LaSalle University, and you get that paper. And guess what? You feel uncomfortable with me saying that because realistically, that piece of paper, you don't see the value in it as much as you think you do. You're just coming up with bullshit excuses for why that piece of paper is so valuable. And let's be honest, it's not. It's really not. So many big companies are just they're not they don't require that. You need
Well,
when you go into that.
let's not even like go down. Let's not even go down that path because like I already know what I want to do. Like I want to be an entrepreneur, and like no one's gonna be looking at that piece of paper, right?
Exactly. So like it just becomes even like, and then even in the case where you use it as like a safety net, safety.
I'm not. I like. I don't agree with the safety net. The only reason I'd go to college, and this is because knowing myself, is the new experiences and the learning of the value of learning. Right, learning like from like people that are business people. And if it turns out the first 2 years it's not that,
Hector,
right?
you off real quick.
Trust me. If it turns out to be like something like those English classes we had in high school where like someone just starts reading a book for the whole entire period, then I'm just gonna like drop out of college. That's what's gonna happen.
So you mean to tell
Because
me, Hector, look at me in the eyes. You really believe do you really think for yourself, deep down, this is not a BS excuse. You really want to see what college is in terms of learning and experiences. That is truly what you want to go to college for. It's kind of like you're explaining FOMO at this moment. Like you don't want to miss out just in case. But I'm sure college is just like high school. I mean, all of our friends already drink, they already smoke, they already party, they go hard. We're all driving. There's nothing. It's not like you're going to get your license in college. Uh, I mean, you live in a shitty dorm room. We can live in a shitty dorm room in LA, with each other, um, and share
pause.
personalities. Yeah, no homo. Pause. But I I just think we should like pull up a whiteboard right now, just write pros and cons, because like I really think that LA is on the pro side. I just and like I've got over the hump a few months ago. Thank God I got over the hump. Now I don't have to deal with it. But I got over the hump a few months ago where like I sat down with my older sister, my older brother, Um,
Well,
and
this is hold up.
not masturbation. I got together with myself, but not masturbation. And I
What?
talk.
Hold up. I missed the past 3 seconds. Can you repeat that?
Okay. Where did you what did you last
So
hear?
like, cause like I started talking, I think it like cut you off, but it
Okay.
was like, you like where you became concrete on this idea to go to LA.
Yeah, yeah. So a few months ago, I sat down with my older brother and older sister, and like we talked, and it was like I got over the hump of insecurity, peer pressure. I got rid of the mentality and idea that family was going to judge me because they clearly didn't judge me. My older brother tried college. He said it's just like high school. He said there's immature kids. He said there's the Harmeyers of the class. You know what I mean? The Harmeyers, the Giacomos. If they're listening, they're probably not. But to explain to the audience, just in case they don't know who it is, if you're like an outsider, in our English class, we have these two goofballs, Matt Harmeyer and Giacomo, and they're just they're immature and like it's funny, yeah, but you really want to go through college laughing at some goofballs in the corner? Come on, let's be honest. There's going to be those goofballs. My brother went to a nice college in Texas. He took the risk. He was like, yeah, let me get into debt. Let me do this. Let me do that. And he said it was just like high school, and I'm going to take his word for it. I believe that part. I actually know somebody who's going to college right now. She said it's the same thing. As a matter of fact, LaSalle for us was so hard. The curriculum and criteria for being a LaSallian was so up here that when we go to college, it's not as hard as you think it's going to be. So the new learning experiences are lectures. That's what we're not getting right now that we might get in college. Lectures. Um, there's always going to be workspaces in school. We have workspaces in LaSalle. We already experienced that. You're going to have workspaces in LA. We're going to have these workspaces where we can work on ourselves and communicate and just work in sync. And so I just to wrap up this little rant, I got over the hump of all the bullshit, and I hear it in your voice when you say it. You're coming up with many different angles to make an excuse of why you don't want to go to, or why you might want to go to LA, but also need that college.
So I'm gonna flip the script on you,
Let's go.
cause like we can think about this all day, right?
Yeah.
But if I don't try it, I'll never know, right?
Let's go.
I mean, I could talk to your brother, right? Ask him what it's like, but I'll never know, right? And you're telling me this is FOMO, but it's like it's all about like once you execute, right? Like once you execute and figure it out. But
Uh-huh.
like there's so I'm trying to keep my options open. I'm not trying to like narrow myself.
All right. All right. Why do you?
I'm trying to go 3 months to California,
Okay.
see how it is, and then after that I'm gonna have to go to college. So I'm gonna go to college. That's 10 weeks for one semester, I think, and then I have a break,
Okay.
and then I can decide if I want to. And if I don't know, then I can finish that year off.
Okay.
And then I have another summer where I can spend 3 months
Okay.
doing the
So
same thing.
so besides the learning experience and what else you said? You said learning, a different type of learning, and the college experience, right? Those are the two things, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you get that out of the way. So you just spent 1 year in college, cheap because you got the scholarship. Now you find out it's not as good as you thought, and you're just partying because you want to cover up the pain, and now you're doing bullshit homework that's like similar to what we're going through right now. You already hate homework. You
We'll
already
see. We'll see. Uh, there's a difference because college there's a greater independence, right? So if I do start to see like I don't like it, then I would leave. Like I'd rip the band-aid off because
what you're saying is you just want to taste it. You just want to give it a little taste.
yeah.
Besides that taste,
And
besides that little itch that you want to scratch, is
so
there any other reasons for college? Do you see any other upside or benefit? I need to understand, man, because we've been going over this for months, and like I kind of get where you're coming from, but like I see it as FOMO and I see it as like pressure, and that's just the way I see it. I just need a little bit more context because like I just sometimes just don't get it at all, and sometimes I could kind of have some empathy and understand, but like I'm just a lost dog when it comes to why you want to go to college.
dude, and you're concrete, and that's I envy that, but I just don't know.
And I don't know either. Let's be honest. I don't know. But I'm passing up an opportunity where what if college did offer some type of course that I would fall in love with, but I won't know because I'm not going to college, and I'm not scared of that because I know that I could find something, some type of passion somewhere else. There's not one particular passion that everybody will always be locked into. Some people could have multiple passions, but not know it until they dig deep. And so that's why I want to go to LA. I want to get myself a cheap apartment with friends where the overhead to live there is so low that I could just live on my emergency savings and just have a shit ton of free time to work on myself. And I still don't even know what that means. Just that in itself kind of sounds like what you're saying about college. Like you just don't know. Like I don't even know what the first step is when I go to LA. I don't
I
even know
think,
what I'm about.
I think I found like what we're really getting at, and I think what we're really getting at is just like trying to know ourselves. Like it doesn't matter what like all the pressures think. It's really just trying to figure out and like all this like craziness, just trying to figure out like what we want.
Uh-huh.
And if we figure out that one north star, that one like the top goal we want to achieve, like everything else we see, like once we see the bigger picture, like we'll know if it's in there or not.
Yeah, and in that case, once you see the bigger picture, it doesn't matter if you went to college or not. It's just in this moment in time, I see so many more cons. I see the debt. I see the waste of upfront time.
So
I
so
I see that
so
are
the debt doesn't apply to me.
okay, but I'm talking about my case, which is I'm explaining why I'm so concrete. It's the debt.
And maybe that's exactly why we differ on the opinion, because you have to pick up some debt, right? And I wouldn't.
South University did offer me some money, so like even money in that case is like I don't even truly think it's the money getting in the way. Honestly, I really don't think it's the money. The money aspect does not scare me in college. Like if you want to eliminate that, let's eliminate it. I don't think money scares me when it comes to going to college.
So
But
so what if we got a full ride of
but when you add the two, where it's like now you're in debt, but also you didn't get any value out of it, then that's where I kind of like you know
yeah, so I'm not adding debt and there might be some value.
might.
Might. And I mean, I'm sure there will be, because I've even in high school, because I found value in some of the in a lot of the classes I've taken at LaSalle, and I remember you always saying like, "There's no value in this class," right?
Okay.
But for some classes, right? But I have found like those teachers that really know how to teach and like really do like really take that like energy and like teach you stuff. Like I've had plenty of classes
Yeah,
like that.
and then another thing is like it's not that I disagree with the actual teachers at my school. They're just doing their job, but also at the fact that this whole 4 years I just put in so much more work than like a public school, student. I put in
Hmm.
probably 3 or 4 times more work just to pass, and I feel that I have learned nothing that interests me. Hear me out. I have learned nothing that interests me, and I have learned. I just like hold up. I
So
just lost.
sort of hold up. I know exactly the argument you're gonna make, because there's a kid at our school named Patrick Hunter,
Uh-huh.
and he sort of said the same thing. Like once his college decisions, like the same kids that the public schools are getting into the same colleges, right?
Hmm.
Going to the private school we go to, like the kids that went to private school and worked their asses off there got the same exact scholarships, same exact schools that we did. Like there's no difference. And like sort of from freshman year and like before we went to LaSalle, there was sort of like this promise that like if or like this idea, I don't know if they outright said it, but like if you go to this school, like you're gonna get into a better college
Yeah,
or
you have a better chance. You have
yeah.
a chance. No, you don't have a higher chance. Okay, maybe you do. Maybe you have some connection.
So so
You're
this is the hold up, because I want to cut you off because I think one of the most important things that you're missing about this is because like okay, maybe it's the outcome, right? But I think it was the culture inside of LaSalle.
I
Like I
love
think it.
that's one thing I did take away. I loved it, and I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna cherish it, and I'm gonna move on and not go to college. Although college might have that, but I got my dose of that brotherhood, community, just having a supportive like atmosphere. But I just don't want to carry on and continue to live that life in college. I think we have created bonds and relationships that the ones that are important and the real ones we're gonna find out when after a few years the real ones are gonna live on forever. The real relationships are gonna live on forever. Hector, I think me and you are gonna be friends for a long, long fucking time, and that's one thing I appreciate about LaSalle. Had I not gone to LaSalle, actually, I really wanted to go to Roman. I don't know how I just completely switched it and went to LaSalle. I forget how that happened, but like shit, seeing how one of my friends went to Roman, the the things he posts on his Snapchat and like showing the inside of Roman, that is not a school I would have wanted to go to. Thank God I didn't go there, and I love LaSalle, and so like I love LaSalle in the aspect of like brotherhood and having these relationships carry on forever because you motherfuckers are real, but also just the actual level of education, the actual what are they teaching, the actual stuff, the meat on the bone, the meat and bones, the meat and potatoes, whatever you call it. I just didn't. I don't see the value in derivatives. I don't see the value in learning Shakespeare. I don't see the
I
value even if we were there to learn how to learn. I don't see the value in that in learning how to learn that shit, learning how to learn that type of math, learning how to learn Shakespeare. The only
so
thing,
I don't
the,
know. I don't know if you went through like because we all went through different paths. Like everyone at LaSalle went through different paths, and they all led us to like this like non-graduation we're gonna have, right? That, but like I decided to choose my own classes. I chose the classes that really interested me and really like I liked and was interested in, and I like to learn, right?
there's
So
always those
when they
classes that you have to take no matter what.
yeah, there are always going to be those classes you have to take no matter what. Um, so ready? Um, first class, right? APUS history with Mr. Bilecki. That class, the man just has a passion of teaching history, and like just learning about all of U.S. history is something we like. It's so invaluable to everyone, right? Just learning about history of how things are set up and just like how like human mind thinks and like how people from the past like thought. Like that's a good thing to learn. And then I liked the class so much that I took APUS Gov with him senior year, junior year, and senior year. Two of my favorite classes at LaSalle. And then I took economics to learn. And sure, you say I could watch it on a YouTube video, right? But there's also the thing going into school, right? Having other people that are interested into the topic.
Which, by the way, you're interested in entrepreneurship, and if you form that community, it's a very similar atmosphere. And we've had it before. We've had it at the lunch table where we sit there and we just talk about business, and we don't have to worry about that one kid sitting at the table who's like a Debbie Downer. You know what I'm talking about. That moment where like we're able to just freely talk about what interests us without worrying about somebody else chiming in and like talking shit or judging or something like that. And that's what I believe moving to LA and that that the atmosphere in that apartment would be very similar to that, like 10 times better than that. Because even
Yeah,
when
but
you're at a lunch table, you still have to worry about the people walking by or the people at the other table who might overhear us, or the
yeah,
person
but like,
coming us late.
dude, honestly, fuck them.
Uh huh. No,
But
but
like,
not
but
past.
like, I just I don't want to miss the opportunity to create something like that at St. Joe's. And sure, you can call it FOMO, but I think like I don't know.
Come on, don't lose your train of thought right now. Come on, I gotta hear it. Because if these motherfuckers, these viewers, they might all be going to college and they might not agree with me, but at this moment in time, if you can't finish that sentence, they're gonna see that you're full of shit, and I see that you're full of shit right now. Come on, bro, we're like fucking.
No, dude, honestly, I don't want to miss out like
Here's the thing,
creating those groups.
fuck it, and like I
Because I
see.
just I hold up. We're just talking over each other. You go first.
Hector. The thing is, I see the bullshit, and you can what's the word? Deny it, and that's fine. But also, I see through it, and I believe truly you don't want to do it. I believe truly that it's
And
and you're gonna keep arguing against it. I know you are, and but also, from my perspective, the same shit you're saying right now was me in like freshman year and sophomore year. To my friends who wanted to be like firefighters and EMTs and stuff like that, rather or EMTs rather than going to college, and I would look at them like, what a fucking loser. Why would you not go to college? Why would you not go
yeah,
learn? Why would you not
and
go
I'm
get
telling and I'm telling you right now,
experience?
you remember because you knew me at the time. I was exactly like you. Fuck college. Remember?
Yeah.
Did you remember me when I said fuck college and I'm like I'm not going to college no matter what?
Uh-huh.
I think it was before like I met you like I just didn't want to go to college
Hmm. Yeah.
cuz like also like the idea of like my parents as an immigrant didn't go to college and they still achieved success. Like
Yeah.
then
Well, and it's not even about the actual bottom line like success. Like I don't care about the money right now. Disclaimer: I don't care about getting rich at this point.
well define success cuz I believe success is happiness.
I was about to talk about that right now. The thing is, pretty much like my whole kind of like school career, I always saw success as like the money, the cars, the houses, the happy family. And I think the happy family thing, yeah, that's indicator of success in my opinion. But like that was like the white pickly fence that like I dreamed of. Because as you know me, Hector, I did not grow up in a normal household. Um, a lot of bullshit I've seen and been through, and so I always wanted to just have that perfect American dream sort of lifestyle. And as we went through high school and recently this past summer, I my whole perspective changed. Shout out to Gary Vee. It's all about perspective. And so like now I don't see success as the bag. I don't care about the bag. The bag is gonna come. That's something I'm not worrying about. My 20s is not about getting the bag. It's about finding your passion and getting so good at your craft so that you can pursue it and pay the bills. And I don't care about the extra shit. I want to pay the bills with my passion because we all have to eat. We all have to live, somewhere. There's always that minimum. There's going to be that minimum overhead to live. So like,
Dude,
yeah, I'm acknowledging that we need money to live, but also,
if I was using Gary Vee as an example though, like he went to college and then he went to go run his dad's wine his parents' wine business for.
that's what he talks about all the time. How he got no value out of it from from every standpoint. He got no value from the actual teaching. He got no value from the social. He got no value from
But
the.
I'm saying that I don't know. But I lost my train of thought. But so the idea of him going to college, right, was I probably like something he'd want to do for his parents.
The same mindset you're in right now. He was an immigrant. He was also a hardcore entrepreneur, more hardcore than you and I. And this was at a time where it's not like it is now. The internet was not a thing. Let me make a list. The internet was not a thing. Entrepreneurship was not cool. He was a hardcore entrepreneur. His dad owned a liquor store, and so he came from he was grown. He was raised in a what's it called in an immigrant household, and that was the way we came to America because your bitch ass is going to college. We didn't fucking bring you here for no reason. And fuck entrepreneurship. Yeah, your dad's making $3 million in a liquor store, but entrepreneurship is not cool. Going to college and getting your degree is cool, and that was during his era of growing up. But things have changed drastically. The value of college has gone down. Social. I was about to say social distancing. Social like what's the word? Just the social aspect,
Well,
right?
maybe these 10 years or so I should dedicate to my parents instead of myself.
Wait, let me finish my train of thought and then move on to what you just said. Keep that in mind. Um, the social aspect has also drastically changed because, like I said, he grew up in a time where internet was not a thing. Now, look, me and you are doing a Zoom call right now. How crazy is this, dude? We're literally talking from, I don't know how far you live from me, but miles and miles away. And if I was in LA, we would still be able to talk right now. And he wasn't able to do that. He wasn't able to sell goods on the internet. He didn't have the same opportunity. So of course he was going to go to college. Entrepreneurship wasn't cool. Entrepreneurship is cool now. We have the internet. We have so many things that we can leverage right now, and it's easier than ever to be able to pursue your dreams. And so I think we should use Gary as like a role model for how we should go about life, because he chases being kind, and he chases happiness. And so that's the lifestyle I want to lead, and I don't see college that making a direct correlation with that. And neither does LA. But I just think I want to skip the college thing.
All right. So let's talk about that. So my thought was maybe like Gary, like even if we use Gary Vee as a role model, I'd dedicate my 20s to basically running my parents' business.
Right. Okay.
And even I'm telling you right now, like as a thought, like sure I have some resistance to going to LA, right? I have some resistance to going to college, like mental resistance, like just getting past that hump to mental resistance. The thing that scares me the most is that
Is-
taking over the business.
Okay. All right. So okay. So the thing about Gary was he was a natural born entrepreneur, wired much differently from a large portion of
No,
society.
fuck that, bro. Fuck that.
What?
Fuck that.
What?
Everything is taught
You
or can be taught. There is some innate what's it called? What's it called? But things can be learned.
there are like there's skills that you can just
Yeah, you can have, but I think
you
there's
can
always
easier. You
there's
can
a
learn.
there's always you can always achieve that level of success with the right discipline, or achieve that level of like mindset, or achieve
Well,
that level of like
that's
being.
what's the point of achieving that if you're not wired for it. You know what I mean? He was wired for it. That's the life for him. Not everybody's meant to run a VaynerMedia. Let's be honest. It's glamorous. It looks so glamorous when he does his weekly V's now. But let's be honest. Not all of us are made to do that. Not all of us are cut from the same cloth. Not all of us even want to achieve that type of level of
cut
success.
but cut but cut from the same cloth. So something like, I think a lot of what has to do with it is being raised by, like, especially even he says it, like his parents, the way they raised him, like also like shaped the way he is today.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Come on, stop saying I don't know. But
It's just like when I reach, like when I like spout out like all like my mental thoughts, and then like I reach like the end of it,
yeah,
then I just go, I don't know.
yeah.
Like it's like
Um,
it's like now that beyond, like the thought has become so beyond that my brain can't even comprehend it anymore.
you want to go to college? No, I'm just kidding. Um, but here's the thing: you said "fuck that" about Gary being wired, and yeah, you can learn shit and like. Let's be
I
honest.
mean, I'm not trying to like knack the dude. He might be like born like that, coming out of the womb. But like I'm saying, like as other people like saying like they can't like achieve that level of being driven, even if they didn't start like that.
No, no, no. I
Because I
didn't
don't believe that.
say driven. I said I'm talking about in terms of the skills and the pure passion and drive for that subject. Now, yes, I said and yes, driven, but we're talking about solely entrepreneurship, and not everybody's born an entrepreneur, and not everybody wants to learn how to be an entrepreneur. But we are, and I know that's what I want to live my life as an entrepreneur, and that's what
Hmm.
I mean, you said it multiple times. I'm sure
No,
that's
definitely,
huh?
definitely,
Yeah. So
definitely.
so Gary, the thing about him was it was a thing out of passion. He didn't take over the business out of, oh, I have to repay my parents, although that's a glamorous way to put it. Oh, I spent 10 years repaying my parents. Oh, that's so nice. I'm not shitting on Gary. I'm just saying, realistically, he saw an opportunity. He saw the internet up and coming. His dad had 3 million in sales a year selling liquor. Internet plus liquor. Let's sell it over the internet and mail it across the country. and he's that type of guy who sees a gap in the market, and he'll execute and he'll make it great. And that's why he turned it from a $3 million to a $60 million liquor company.
Yeah.
And so
And
I'm
my
sure he
bad.
didn't go into it. When he went into it, he wasn't like, I owe my dad 10 years. That's I know 100% that's not how he went into it. He went into it because he saw the gap and he just got involved and it just worked. And he had the work ethic. But one thing about work ethic is I think that's definitely not something that that you get out of the womb. I definitely think you get that from like parents or your environment. Work ethic is definitely learned and taught. So in terms of him going to college and then dedicating 10 years to his parents, college. Let's explain the college
I don't
part.
know. Let's also go down that because we also don't know like those 10 years that Gary Vee went to work for and like work for like his dad
He worked for his dad.
and
He built his dad's business. Let's be honest. His dad gave
but
him.
like we don't know. Like I remember listening to one podcast where he said that he used his like mom as like times where it like got rough with his dad because like
Yeah, there's always going to be.
there was moments in there where like there was some friction and like while he
Yeah,
was because they like naturally when like two people start running like a thing together like this person has this kind of vision, this person has this kind of vision, and they like sort of like there's like some friction there.
and that's just business, and that's how it works. And it was a family business, and um, the thing
But
about
like that thing, that idea scares the shit out of me. Cause like if you
that
if
I
you
never thought about you and your dad. Like your dad's face automatically popped up in my head.
no, but like not even that. Like it's the family business is way more complex because it's my dad's one of 18, right?
Uh-huh.
And he has 8 brothers, or whatever it is. Um,
Damn, your
what's it
uncles
called?
are watching right now.
Running each pizza shop, right?
Uh-huh.
Running each pizza shop, and then their wives are involved, right? In
Mm,
each pizza shop, and then my dad's involved in his own pizza shops and their pizza shops, and then my mom's involved,
uh-huh.
and then my cousins get involved. Once they grow up, I think they're gonna want a piece of the pizza shops, right? So
Uh-huh.
all these ideas, all these different ownerships, if like if there's not a common goal to like achieve, then all these different like visions, like Gary Vee was just him and his dad running the business.
Yeah.
Now
It's
introduce
very complex.
fucking 8, 9 people, 10 people, 15 people, all having different ideas, and then like
Different visions, different
husband and wife, yeah,
ideas.
different versions of what they want this to be. They
Yeah.
want to spin it off, buy it off from my dad,
Mhm.
or and sort of my dad's sort of the patriarch that like sort of like keeps this going.
Yeah.
And then
I say that about your
and
dad.
my even like I don't know, like my
Mhm.
dad's an incredible person, but like if I were because it's not I can't equate it to Gary for some things, but like that was a $3 million business. This is 7, 8, 9 pizza shops.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
Your
it's
dad
multiple stores, more money, more
much
people involved, more livelihoods.
yeah.
It's a bigger thing already. And it's not just like adding the internet to
Yeah.
this because if I add the internet, it's not the same because like pizza, it's 45 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And it gets cold.
Yeah.
Wine, you can ship it across the country. So it's not the same thing.
No, you
And
can definitely scale the shit out of a pizzeria with the internet.
you can, but
Okay.
you're going to have to do a lot of what's it called? Expanding through stores,
Yeah.
which that's adding more people, more livelihoods.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that concept of just like expanding, but like also going through the shit and fixing all the stuff that is wrong, like right now structurally, like all these like like even like when you like work for a little bit
Mhm.
with like social media, like just PDQ, just trying to fix that and
Yeah.
how big of a challenge that is, but it's necessary to try and expand things and then like sort of like trying to add new things, right? When there's two heads, right? Me and my dad, he can approve it, we'll do it. But then now that you have to run it against like another franchisee or like every single franchisee, or like my uncles in sorts. Now it's different, right? Now each individual one
Let me point
has
something out.
to.
Gary V is the guy. He's not going to take no for an answer. Back then, now obviously he might take no for an answer. I don't know, but back then, I'm sure. Yes, there was those frictional moments where Gary wanted to ship to Texas, and his dad was like, "No, fuck that," or just something little or something big, But Gary was has that personality where he will go above and beyond to get that yes. And the way he talks about his past, it seems like he was that guy. His work ethic was insane, and I'm sure he sold his dad on certain visions, and they were able to get through those frictional times. The thing about family business is that there's the person who started it all, and you have to pay them homage or whatever the word is. You have to pay them the respect of the fact that they
Mhm.
built that shit from the ground up, and you didn't do shit to get to that 3 million mark, Gary. Your fucking dad did that shit. Your dad dragged you out of Belarus. Your dad scaled it to 3 million, and then you put your twist. You saw a vision, and you scaled it to 60 million. I'm not discrediting that. I'm just saying there was two different types of work ethic. There was the ground up, and then there was the scale. And so you're in the position where you could help scale. But aside from all of this, I honestly, this was really good, but I want to get out of this because this all has to do with college. This all has to do. This all ties in from college. We started talking about college, and I just want to get that out of the way before we talk about anything else. Because I just
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Now that you sort of know like the context of what my bigger picture is and what like awaits me, right?
and
What
by
do
the
you
way,
now?
you don't have to take over his business, and you may want to because I mean, why not? It's a lot of stores. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of
But
you know,
it's not,
you're and
dude.
you're also an entrepreneur. So like
It's
also you see the opportunity to expand and take over and
the
uh,
number. So the number one thing, like, because like right now I've gone through the pros and cons, right? The number one pro is learning,
yeah,
because even like just working, right? That'll like it leads to like so much just learning, just helping out, just
yeah,
like just washing, like just doing like sort of like this menial tasks that like no one would do,
yeah,
like working Friday and Saturday, or doing taking the pizza out of the oven, stuff
yeah.
like that. Just like stuff like every employee would do, just like and then just like seeing everything that takes to like actually run a business. Like you learn a lot of perspective from that,
Hmm.
and there's still more perspective to be learned. I don't know
Yeah,
if perspective is the right word, but like more like context.
yeah. Context, vision, just seeing all the counterparts of
Yeah.
a business at that scale.
And I know the type of person I am. So at my core, I like learning. I will take off spontaneous things and just start learning a bunch of little different things.
Yeah,
Like photography, I started junior year.
which is by
Filmmaking,
the way, what you just explained. That trait, I don't think that type of trait belongs in college because the the grand scale, like you can scale that personality so much in real life in that 4 years that it can lead to so much greater things than getting that degree and a few extra relationships that you could also, by the way, find across the world the same type of relationships. It's, I mean, yeah, all right, but continue your tangent, whatever you were saying. I was just building off of that.
so my type of personality is sort of like the spontaneity of just learning things. Like I will go into
Same,
like I think the first thing I did was like just like playing around with technology, like right,
yeah,
just getting that new computer and just like pulling the parts out and stuff,
yeah,
and just like having that spontaneity to like learn the curiosity, a child mindset, pure like curiosity. Like
yeah.
everyone has it as a child, but they sort of lose. But like I think I still sort of like, or like my personality's built on that, and like I will try new things, like I'll like sort of like hesitate into going things, but then there's a point where I just reach like a fuck it mentality, and I'll just do it. Like I was asked to do the yearbook junior year, and then I started doing photography, and I liked it, and then I got really good at it,
Which,
and then
yeah,
like sort of like what's it called, filmmaking. I sure, I saw some YouTube videos, right? And I was like, fuck it, let me get started. And I started buying things and then started getting things for Christmas and just doing like filmmaking. That was like sixth grade and just like doing stuff and just playing around, fucking around with cameras and stuff, just learning how to like use cameras. Technology was the same way. What's it called? Taking pictures. Business was the same way, right?
Yeah,
Going out with my dad, being like the fuck it. I'm going to get out of my room and just go with my dad on like rides or just like go with like shadow my dad.
yeah,
And then sort of like that sort of mindset led
yeah,
me to like learning a lot about business and entrepreneurship and
yeah,
sort of learning about like his life.
yeah.
I don't know. And
So what you just explained was from the get go, you were a curious person, and you have the spin off on it where you also are spontaneous. Well, I mean, yeah, spontaneity is one of your traits, but I'd say what you just explained was curiosity at the core. And
yeah.
so when you have that amount of curiosity, and I know how much curiosity you have, obviously, because we tried the Shopify thing, which we'll talk about another time. You recently you just randomly started posting on eBay just because I was like, dude, you should list that shit on eBay, or
Mm-hmm.
the curiosity of just like you said, photography, or like right now, podcasting,
Yeah.
or YouTube videos, stuff like that. So what I believe is when you have that amount of curiosity that not many people have, by the way, that's like a special trait beyond many people. Like I know guys, like I'll say, like, by the way, I also have curiosity. I'll say something random and curious. Like I'll be like, yo, we
Mm-hmm.
should do this or that or whatever. And it could either play out as curious or spontaneous. But either way, some of the guys I might surround myself with don't have that trait, and you notice it, man, when you bring something up or you try and plan something or just anything. You notice that you're different in terms of curiosity or spontaneity. And so I think when you have that type of personality, I don't think it fits in with college. I think it can grow at so much more. Just
Yeah. Now that you're saying this, it's clicking in a sort of way. Like imagine that curiosity being suppressed, right? Me being curious about college and seeing what value I could learn in college, what people I could meet in college, all these people,
yeah,
right? That is suppressing the curiosity I innately have inside.
okay,
Also, going to California is also like something that's feeding my curiosity.
yeah,
Like I want to try it out. So I also want to do that.
okay.
But
Hector,
also the
go ahead.
downside to that is you start picking up a lot of things and you start being overwhelmed. Now you have too many things and now you sort of get overwhelmed and like you just you can't you get frozen
Yeah,
basically.
okay.
And that's a downside to the trait.
Based off of
Uh,
like this whole conversation, it feels like you're from my perspective, because like like those like in TV shows and movies or just in real life, there's that person who's on the outside who's looking in, and they're like, what the like, for example, imagine you're like in a dark home and you're like depressed, but like in your from your perspective, you're in your comfort zone, right? But the person outside who's living life, going on jogs, outside when the sun is shining, or out there playing in the rain or whatever, just exploring life, they look inside your dark home and see depression. So apply that what I just explained to our situation right here. Me looking into your situation, it just feels like you kind of put a trap on yourself and are beginning to feel overwhelmed, but also are curious to like explore out that. But it just sounds like you have fear. There's fear and then trapping yourself, which I think originates from fear. I just think it's fear now at this point.
well, I wouldn't say like fear and anxiety because I do have
By the way, I have
because
the
I do overthink shit and that's one of the things
same.
that goes like just like overthinking stuff and like my mind will go into like a million different things like just like spewing out little things and like different like scenarios that can happen and it just like it turns into this like anxiety like honestly like that like no other people have like
Yeah. Dude. Oh man, I remember this one time. Speaking of anxiety, this is why I think I have it. I never really got it checked. I don't go to psychologists or therapists or anything like that.
and I
Like,
mean I think even like my bad but like it's apparently it's common in our generation. But
Yeah,
then like even hearing that sort of like turns you off a little bit because then it's like it's common to have this feeling when it's really not.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah. The thing about what you just said is like, yeah, anxiety is widespread. A lot of people have it, but I noticed that I have a different type of anxiety. My anxiety roots from. It's so scary, man. I'm going to talk about it right now. My anxiety roots from like the fear of not doing, and it consumes me, and I have nightmares about it, man. And sometimes I just want to sit there and cry, and just the fear that it just feels like a big monster like consuming me when I think about that. When I think about what I could have done 6 months ago that could have completely changed the outlook of what my life would look like right now, or 5 years ago, or and I know I'm only 17, going on 18 within the next few months or whatever, but it's that my anxiety roots from that, and it's terrifying. And when when you think about stuff like that, for me, um, it consumes me, and it becomes physical pain at that point. It physically hurts the insides of me, and it's hard to explain the feeling of that type of anxiety, the level that I
So
go through.
so speaking on that, I'm gonna list off two things. I saw the Instagram post. I don't know if you saw it from I think that one dude Uma,
Maybe.
the stockbroker dude,
Oh yeah,
the
Umar.
the
Yeah,
the Arab. Yeah. It was like, or no. I think it was Valuetainment or one
okay.
of them posted on Instagram. It was like
Yeah,
Oprah was fired at 24 from the radio station, right?
right.
What's his face? And it's just like a bunch of billionaires like 24 that like were in like the dark, sort of like the darkest period in their lives,
Yeah,
and sort of like also with like Ray Kroc founding like Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's, he didn't start his company till 60 or four. He started like 50, and then
50.
like start actually like grew the business at like 60,
Yeah,
and like Gary Vee spouting out like 40 is the new young, and like what's it called? And like the one meme account that on TikTok that makes fun of Gary, and it's like 80 man, what I'd give to be 80.
right. The wisdom,
Yeah,
Um,
but I don't
yeah.
know.
So
I know, but
but it's hard to
what no, you know what it is? When I say I don't know, I can't put my thoughts into words,
yes,
and
I
I
have
hit the.
that feeling a lot. Um, Man, I just can't wait for the day. I mean, over time, and this is gonna happen, where your communication skills to the camera is gonna get so great, and you're just gonna be so good at communication. I'm so glad that we're doing this right now, because this is just like, besides building a brand and building a podcast, like this is like these are real skills. Being able to put our thoughts into words and communicate it to another person through the screen, and eventually, if we're able to set up a real studio and talk in person, I think this is great. But backpedaling to what I was saying about anxiety was that you said, I think you said, a lot of people have anxiety or whatever, some blah blah blah, something like that. But what I was saying is, yes, a lot of people have anxiety, but it's different types of anxiety. There's anxiety for insecurities. There's anxiety from peer pressure. There's anxiety for blah blah blah. But my specific anxiety is the fear of not doing and everything regarding entrepreneurship. And it's weird. It's hard to explain. And I think you have a similar type based off of what you told me. It's a different type, and to put it into words, for
I
example,
don't think it's a different type, but I think it's nuances that sort of like there's a slight difference. It's
yeah,
not big, but it's still that like slight difference.
yeah,
To us, looks like it's a bigger difference, but
yeah.
to other people, it's the same thing.
So to put it into like a story form to explain to
And
the audience or whoever's listening, um,
before you move on to the story, also like this is like these ideas and these like concepts that we talk about or something or like we try to put words to them, but like it's 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 immensely hard, right? because like we can like give examples, we can do this metaphors and stuff, but
Yeah.
like honestly, what we sort of like just like the flow from our thoughts to like our words, it's
Unless
like
you, basically what you're saying is unless you experience it, it's hard to feel it,
yeah,
understand it. And there's two examples I could put out. I'm going to put out one because I know one of our maybe some of our peers or something like that are listening right now, and they're probably like, "What the hell are they
3 hours into the conversation.
like? What the fuck? How does Zach and Hector have anxiety? You guys have it easy. We have moderately easy lives, you could say, um, because I mean, yeah, we're kind of soft in our generation, but like people can't fathom the anxiety that we have because they don't have it. For example, our one of our really good friends, Katray, when we would
Mhm.
drive, I would give him a ride home, and when we would be driving, my mind would be racing, and I would like switch topics super fast. And it happened all the time where I would just like go from one topic to another like that, and he would be lost in the sauce, like what the fuck is going on? And moments like that make me realize I'm different, and I just have to accept that. And I don't know if it's good or bad right now. But another story would be when I was at my sister's house. Her girlfriend. I think we were all talking about something regarding like our futures and whatnot, and I was like, this was like about 2 years ago when I was like really into like just money, just straight up money. And she was like, "Why are you so into money?" And I explained to her that it's not about selfish reasons for having money. I want money to ease certain problems in our lives, you know? Because I don't come from a wealthy family. I come from a middle class family, you know? And so I was in the mindset where, money could cover certain problems. And my sister never saw it that way. She saw me, wanting to buy the nice cars, the nice Rolex, which was a thing. Like I wanted it to coexist with helping, but I wanted the lavish life. And so I remember that day, like this is just me all the time, but that specific day, after we had that conversation, we were just chilling and watching TV, and her girlfriend just like looks at me. She's like, she asked me a question, but I wasn't focusing because I was like, my mind was just racing with anxiety, like of just that topic alone, which haunts me. It's just so scary to think about, um, being the man of the family. But she looked at me and like when she saw that I wasn't focused or concentrated on her question, she was like, "You need to chill." Like I don't understand like how you could always be how your mind could always be racing like that. And from that's another moment where I realized it's not normal. And so I figured that out a few months ago, or I think almost a year ago. I didn't know I was that different. I thought it was normal. I thought the lens that I'm looking through right now, through life, I thought everybody had this perspective. And that's something I learned recently in
And
late.
that I feel like that's the root of the problem. Like we can never see the world. We're never gonna see the same. I think we have an innate like we're just like a
Hello?
really. Wait, can you hear me?
Your face is frozen. Can you hear me?
Oh, my bad. My camera died.
All right.
That's how long we've been talking. I'll just pop another camera a battery in.
How long is that? Like
Give
an
me
hour?
like
Go do that. Oh man, I need a water break and a piss break. Fuck it. While you do that, I'm gonna mute myself and go take a piss. This is great, by the way.
I'm gonna pause the recording and I'm gonna go get water.
All right.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right, we're back from that technical difficulty problem, whatever that. And we just took
but
a piss break, and I just got some more water. So
let's talk about that because off camera you were talking about.
I called you the
I
fuck
have
out.
it. I have a tendency. No, but like it I agree.
Yeah.
And but like the fact is like it's and I need to learn how to deal with it
All right.
to like sort of like give you the time to speak. But
Stop it there.
that also, all right,
Here.
go ahead.
To put it into context, uh, in that water break that we just had with that technical difficulty, when we came back, the recording was not going, and so I called out Hector and I said, and I didn't call him out. I kind of like let him know when like you're about to say something good, but and then you lead us on, but then you say I don't know, and I'm sure whoever's listening right now, still like however far in we are right now, they're probably like, what the fuck? Hector was about to say something good, but he keeps saying I don't know. And I know off camera you're really good at articulating how you're feeling and what you're thinking. And so I told you off camera, from now on you just got to take a deep breath. Don't even think about saying I don't know. By the way, you can articulate how you're feeling. It's overwhelming, but you can. Don't ever say you can't, because I know you can fucking pull it out and just say some fire ass shit that people will find so valuable. And I'm sure maybe there's not, or maybe there aren't. There's kids our age who are like they want to hear our perspective and they want to hear the full extent of it. They don't just want to hear you lead us on and then say I don't know. And so I just thought that was important, and I think it'll.
Yeah, but like the idea when you did call me out that I was sort of like doing that, but I also was interrupting you. So what I could do is sort of basically let you speak, but in the mind just sort of develop my idea more and how to articulate that
Yeah.
while you're speaking.
Also,
Yeah.
just don't ever hesitate to just take a deep breath when you're in the middle of it, because I won't cut you off in that case. I will only cut you off mid sentence if I feel like I have to.
Yeah, no, and I'll do the same. And I mean that's something we're probably gonna have to work on doing more of these, and like
No,
we'll
no,
find
no.
naturally.
It's good to interrupt sometimes, because sometimes you just sound stupid and nobody wants to hear you talk, or the other person has a better idea, but not always. So it's okay sometimes, not always, because I don't want to be a Gary Vee right now.
All
No
right,
Gary
so
interrupted by
I'm
Gary
gonna
Vee.
cut you off. I'm gonna cut you off. I think we've visited that issue and we're done with it. So now let's move on to what we were talking about before. I think we can't expect because I'm gonna go down something I'm not really allowed to go down with, like down and tell you like I'm not allowed to tell you this stuff,
Gideon Green.
but I'm gonna sort of like skirt around it because like you're not gonna be able to go to that retreat,
Oh,
and that retreat was immensely valuable for me. But since we're recording this, I'm also not allowed to talk to about it because it's like sort of like
yeah.
ruining it for other people.
All right. Just
But basically, it was really similar. It was basically really similar to like where like I expressed myself in the same way we're doing right now, right? And then the what's it called? The person or other people basically said what your sister's girlfriend said. You got to chill out. I think you're overthinking it.
yeah.
Your mind's in the air, right?
Yeah.
And like that idea, right? That same idea of like just other people, like we can't expect other people to think the same way
Right.
like me and you think.
Comes down to
Just like other people don't think like we also like just like we expect like even like in anything like in life, like we always expect what other people are gonna do through the way we act. But
yes.
we gotta come to terms that like everyone is different.
Hmm. I agree. What were we talking about before this technical difficulty? I want to get back into it because it was juicy before your camera froze.
Yeah, that was it. The perspective of like
Yeah,
other
yeah.
people don't have the same ideas we do. Other people don't have the same anxieties we do. I mean, I'm sorry, I just coughed into the mic.
Pause. Oh, give me the corona through the goddamn.
Dude, I just like died. Oh my god. I don't know what happened there. I just stopped breathing for a second. No, but like
That's actually isn't that ironic how our conversation is revolved around anxiety and the fact that you can't even express how you feel with your own anxiety. How ironic is that?
um
It's like when
no,
Jake
but
on Logan's podcast and he was like trying to talk about how he feels when he gets like depressed or anxious, and he just couldn't put it into words. Like Mike had to speak for him. It was pretty ironic. I find that interesting.
no, I think it's incredible. Like even like there's a lot of kids at LaSalle, right? There's a lot of kids at our school, at our
Yeah,
high school. And the fact that our like we have a similar mindset even coming into LaSalle. And
yeah,
that's just like that's something like I feel like everyone like sort of like middle school and like elementary school are sort of like you're only friends with them because you're close to them.
yeah.
Right.
Young and
Right.
You don't have the flexibility to be friends with somebody else.
with like to drive somewhere, right?
Yeah,
But then like I feel like what people start doing is like this sort of thing where like people start grasping with people like they have similar mindsets to.
yeah.
And if they don't,
Or the opposite, or the opposite. You
or
fall,
opposite, right?
yeah, you fall into the wrong crowd, and you let others pull you into their own groups, and you find that group, and then that group consumes you, and now that's the person you are, and now you're affiliated with that group.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually kind of happened with kind of what you're saying, but like it's different. Some people have a straight path, and they know the people they want to hang around. But there's some people who just don't know, and they're just being social, and it's kind of like protons and electrons. They're just flying everywhere. Which I find really interesting. I don't understand, man. It's so. This is just one thing I have to work on in life. Is just, I don't understand how other people are thinking because I just don't. It's hard to have empathy for other mindsets sometimes and different perspectives. I just don't understand how others think. Some things are just so out of like the ordinary for me. The way people look at things, the way they explain things. But also, there's certain people I know who are like that, but also have immense similarities with me. And I'm not talking about me and you, because me and you are like fucking damn near twins with like a lot of things. I'm
And
talking.
you know what? Coming freshman year, like I know we got mad at like we were called twins, and maybe that was because like we didn't see each other as like as alike.
Yeah,
But like going through the 4 years, like we're more alike than anyone at the school.
except
Like
for except for
even
Katrina,
like twins. And Katray who?
TJ.
Yeah, Katray and TJ.
By the way, can't wait to post this.
Dude, even if we sent the podcast to them, they wouldn't make it this far. 3 hours into the podcast.
I'm gonna get this clip and send it to them.
Hey, hold up. No, don't send this clip. Just keep it in there and send it to them and say we mentioned you in the podcast, right? And if they make it this far, I will personally give each one $20.
Ooh, some money just by listening to us on a fucking
Yeah,
car ride.
they hold up. If they make it this far, because they won't. I don't think TJ or and maybe they'll surprise me, bro. I'm not gonna judge.
You could
I'm
trade.
I'm judging right now by saying I'm not gonna judge.
Right,
But if they make it this far, I'll be surprised.
right. Um, so back to what I was saying. There's the people who are like insanely polarized and are like just linked, And but then there's also the friend group where it's like the situation with me and Trey Cook, where me and him are very different, but like the same, like same but different. You know what I mean? You don't get the reference, do you? Same
Because he's
same.
black.
Same but different from Rush Hour. Jackie Chan and the black guy from
So
Rush
you're
Hour.
the Asian guy?
No, I'm not saying the relationship. I'm saying we're same. No, like
Yeah.
me and Katrina, obviously, not in terms of physical. I'm talking about in terms of personality. Me and Katrina are so alike on the like the creative humor side, but we're so
Yeah.
different when it comes to like the intellectual, philosophical side. Like him, the way he views like the serious part of life is so different from how I view mine's. But
And
then,
something that's fascinating when you joke around, I don't get it.
yeah,
Like adding to your point, like I don't really get how you joke around, but the philosophically we align like
yeah.
immensely.
So it's like you're one of my halves, and then the other half is Katray. So like you and Katray mixed up is me, which is weird to hear me say.
Me and Katray had a baby and it's you. Hi, son.
Pause. Yeah, but like it's crazy how sometimes like Katray just sometimes he'll like play along. I mean, I could tell when he's texting me or talking to me, he plays along as like he knows what I'm saying, but realistically, he's like, "What the fuck is this goofball saying?" But then there's times where we're laughing at somebody else, or we're telling a stupid joke, or memes, or like anything humorous, or anything in the realm of like just having a good time. Me and him are so fucking alike. It's hilarious, which is why me and him are such good friends. And
Now
then
let's let I'm gonna cut you off. Let's explore that. Because
Very.
like there is a dichotomy, and I'm trusting you. I'm not gonna say I don't know. Ready? There is a dichotomy. There's two sides, right? There's the work hard and there's the play hard sides of like our lives, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's exactly what you're talking about right now. Is like there's like and you need both. I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes you say
oh yeah,
like you don't
you
need one part.
life without both. I mean, let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah, like you can't just like go through life and just like what's it called? Just like work hard and put your head in the books if you're not gonna play hard, right?
Yeah,
You need both sides because my bad, I just burped into the mic, but it was there's a side of just like grinding, putting your heads in the book, eating shit, right, and then blowing off the steam that you build up and like all that stress and just like playing hard. The idea is like when they becomes out of control, right? When you basically put your head into a book and you like overwhelm yourself into the point where you become depressed, right? And
yeah,
all you can't see out of it.
yeah,
But you can also go to the where you could just play too hard, right? And then you're just like going to parties, drinking, smoking, and all doing all those things, and then now you're just like it's like doing like what college kids do, and then now you're not working hard, right?
right.
And that's the sort of balance that you need to achieve, or even not even like just like what we all face as like especially at our age. And I mean, even people like at 40 that deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at 40, like you get the lesser opportunity to play hard. And I feel like as a younger person, you get more opportunities to be like playing a sort of way.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, you definitely have a different perspective on, or maybe very similar to how I think about it. Yeah, you explained it nice. I like it. Pause. Anyway, moving on from there. Um,
I mean, I think that's a good time to end it.
right now,
Yeah.
how long did we just record, dude? That felt like, I'm not gonna lie, that felt like 15 minutes.
Dude, we started at like 12:50. It's
No,
2:37.
no, we did not just film 2 hours and 40 minutes and then recording and see how long it is. No way.
All
I
right.
get
All right, so guys, that's it for this episode. I know we went into a lot of different topics, a lot of different like mindsets. We really immersed ourselves into different mindsets and how to like do stuff and like what we see in life, what we want to achieve, what's the bigger picture, what are the pitfalls and like stuff like that.
and,
And we
and
had a really interesting conversation. And so I'm Hector Guerra, and
I'm Zackarie Zackarie. And by the way, before we fully end this, just know we were being very transparent. I want to, point back at the podcast. None of this whole thing was fake at all. This is how we actually talk. I'm surprised we were able to be so authentic while we saw the recording signal at the top of the screen.
this
And
is a good happy medium because we're not faking it for the camera, and like we're not like also just like going off tangents.
yeah, but and so sorry to leave you guys at a cliffhanger because I know that was a really good conversation.
But like I don't think I physically can take it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
and so there's maybe some people made it through and liked it. Love you. Subscribe, comment. Maybe reach out to us. We'll have you on if you want to talk about your views. And for those who didn't make it to the end or didn't like the podcast, fuck you. I don't care about your dislike and go fuck off in life.
I mean, they're not gonna watch it anyway. So,
Yeah, so fuck you. That's the point.
all right. So I'm gonna talk to you about the aggressive marketing scheme because we're at least gonna get 5 viewers. We're gonna get Giacomo, Matt Harmeyer, TJ Meacham,
Katrina
um,
Cook and ourselves.
and ourselves. Who else did we talk about? We could try to send it to Gary V.
You went on a tangent. Super lucky.
Mr. Bilecki, I could send it to.
All right, so this is where we close it. All right, catch you guys on the next episode.
I'm sorry. What the fuck was that?